Real bad. And thy belly to swell. Your belly gonna get big. Signs. Clear signs. The stomach gonna get big. And your thigh gonna rot. Meaning you're gonna start stinking. Anything that's rotten stinks. You know that. You take the rocket science to figure that out. You're gonna be stanky. And the stomach gonna be swelled up. And this water that causes the curse shall go into thy bowels to make thy belly to swell. To make thy belly swell. The stomach gonna get real big. And thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, I'm not saying that. But and the priest shall write these curses in a book. That's Egyptian God. That's why I'm not saying that. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causes the curse. And the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand and shall wave the offering before the Most High and offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take an handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar. And afterward shall cause the woman to drink the water. She got to drink this bitter water. And when he have made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled, and have done trespass against her husband, she laid down with another man, that the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. And her belly shall swell. Her stomach gonna get big. And her thighs shall rot. She gonna start stinking. And the woman shall be a curse among her people. She's gonna be a curse among her people. And if the woman be not defiled, if she didn't do this, but be clean, because she did it, she's unclean. She defiled. But if she didn't do it, but be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. She won't have babies. Now you know, if she did it, she defiled herself. Well, she can't have no children. This is the law of jealousies. When a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled. Or when the spirit of jealousy cometh upon him, her husband, and he be jealous over his wife, and shall set the woman before the Most High, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. That's something, because it didn't say that about what's up with the man being jealous. And she got to go through all this here if she clean. And deal with that, right? To show you, I mean, you got to think about that. You're just saying, hey, then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. So that's something to think about. Look at Luke the 12th chapter. Go to Luke the 12th chapter. We're going to read verse 4 and 5. This is what the Mashiach was telling us. Luke the 12th chapter. That was a lot of jealousy, yo. Luke 12 and 4. And I say unto you, my friends, be not afraid of them that kill the body. Don't be afraid of them that kill the body. And after that, have no more that they can do. So don't be afraid of them that kill the body. And after that, ain't nothing else they can do. So don't be concerned about them. But I will forewarn you, whom ye shall fear. Over and over again. He said, I'm warning you, who you should be afraid of, who you should be scared of. But I will forewarn you, whom ye shall fear. fear him, which after he have killed, remember the Most High said, I kill? Deuteronomy 32:39. After he have killed, have power to cast into hell. Yeah, I say unto you, fear him. You hear that? I'm telling you. Once the Most High have killed people, he have power to cast you into hell. Where there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Where the worms never die and the fires never quenched. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 14:12. We're dealing with whoredom, hoes, prostitutes, harlots, idolatry, fornication, whoremongers, all this. Wisdom of Solomon 14:12. It's a lot. Wisdom of Solomon 14:12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, idolatry, spiritual fornication, and invention of them the corruption of life. See, the invention of them the corruption of life. Like a lot of you don't believe in this truth, but you can't disprove the word of the Most High that's coming out, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, and there a little, on all the topics and subjects that the Most High is bringing forth in these last days. But you've got a lot to say. You got a lot of feelings that you want to feel. But a lot of you dealing with spiritual fornication. And invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. You hear that? They ain't gonna be forever. Most likely gonna dismiss all of that. For by the vainglory of men, they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly in these last days to an end. That's why you got a choice to choose life or death. That's it. And some choose death, like we chose death from the beginning. Eve chose death. And she fooled Adam into it. Because Adam did it. He knew it was right. So he's responsible too. That's what Ezra say, hey, oh Adam, what have you done? We all died because of what you did. But ask somebody. It's very important that we see this. Because now we're looking for life. That life is everlasting life. Look at Ecclesiastes 26:25. Ecclesiastes 26:25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Hear that? A shameless woman. You got to look at a woman that don't have no shame in her game. She walking around. Like right now you see women, they pretty much, you ain't got to have no imagination on what you going to get if you get them, because they showing everything. They boobs be showing, they booty, you can see their booties, you can see their whatever. Everything is tight. You see their shape, everything. They want to be seen. They want attention. I don't know. It's just the spirit of the world. They're making things, show clothes. You see right through them. It's like everybody walking around with a bikini on. And think about it. Some women don't wear underwear. You see everything. Because they're making the material that's so thin. That's a shameless woman. Look. It says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. I looked up dog in the Unger's Bible Dictionary, if I can reach it. In the Unger's Bible Dictionary, listen. Now, we Israelites, our women not supposed to be dogs, are they? Brother be talking about they dogs. Listen what the definition of dog is in the New Unger's Bible Dictionary. If I might bring it forth. Dog. It says, in the East, dog is used for impure and profane persons and was used by the Jews respecting the Gentiles, right? It says, verse 5, or number 5, those who are shut out of the kingdom of heaven are also called dogs. Revelation 22:15, we'll get there. On account of their vileness, probably a reference to homosexuality. Dang. Meaning, men with men and women with women. This is what it says. Going back to Ecclesiastes 26, that was from the New English Bible Dictionary. Ecclesiastes 26 and 25 says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Most High. She gonna fear the Most High. It said, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted unrighteously of all. Hear that? Because that's pride. She dishonored him in her pride. Thinking she all that? She'll be counted, first and foremost, she's shameless. She'll be counted as a dog. And she'll be counted unrighteous of all. Verse 22. And harlot, a prostitute, a woman that sell her body for money, or a whore, shall be accounted as spittle. Man. A harlot shall be accounted as spittle. That's what Most High think of you. You laying down for money, you ain't no more than spit coming from the mouth. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. That's why he's saying, verse 1, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. Virtuous woman rejoices her husband, make him happy, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. And the harlot shall be counted as spittle. Verse 22. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that feareth the Most High. See? So, either you wicked or you righteous. You good or you bad. You righteous or you wicked. You evil. You see? It says, a dishonest woman contempteth shame. The dishonest woman, she's like one of them women that you don't see me type, a lie. She contempteth shame. But an honest woman will reference her husband. She gonna reference her husband. As Sarah did, Abraham called him other one, or master. Because Lord and God are European inventions. I want you to know that. Look it up. They're European inventions. So, we got to watch out to make sure that we don't get caught up in mischief and sin and iniquity, so the Most High's wrath come upon us suddenly. And he give us things that, because they got diseases now that are uncurable, like AIDS and herpes and the plagues that the Most High say he gonna put upon us, and different diseases that are come upon this earth that laugh at penicillin. And I wonder what people that, have these different types of plagues that the Most High put upon them, what they do in selecting a mate or whatever. They advertise, look, I got an STD. And so the ones that have STDs come together, or how does that work? It's crazy. But it's going on because there's a lot of, people just laying down with each other. A whole lot of whoremongering and a whole lot of things that are abominable in the eyes of the Most High. Look at Luke 12 chapter. Oh man, wow. That's right here. Luke 12 and 47. Hallelujah. The spirit work like that is real, woo, it's touchy. When I'm looking where I'm thinking where to go, I look down and it's right, I'm right there. Turn the page, I'm right there. Luke 12 and 47. For all that you've heard and still hearing, it says, and that servant, Luke 12 and 47, and that servant, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, which knew his Lord's will, or his master's will, and prepared not himself. So when you come to serve the Most High, prepare thyself for temptation, for the devil. Like Shah, he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Who was dealing with him? The devil. So some of these weak people, these fools, as it says, these evil, they're not preparing themselves for the devil. So the devil gonna have them at his will. And that servant which knew his Lord Most High's will, master's will, and prepared not himself against the evil, against the devil, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. There go the judgment right there. Will be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not, he that have not been called, like a natural man, carnal man, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. Ain't that something? Will be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, and much has been given. But we've been teaching this truth for a long time. He's saying, for unto whomsoever much is given, what you hear or forbear, you've been given it. Of him shall be much required. Since you've been given it, you've been introduced to the truth, much is required of you from the Most High. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. See? That's why it's very important that you see this. You understand? This ain't. It's hard to think that. That's why I say you can't just be thinking, "Oh, it can't happen to me." Look at the apostles. Go to Acts 16. 16th chapter. Look at Acts the 16th chapter. You can read the whole thing, but I'll get right to the point. It says, let's start at 16. And it came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying, like a psychic. And saying, followed Paul and us, and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High power, which show unto us the way of salvation. So he's showing the people the way to salvation. And this did she many days. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the spirit that was in her, I command thee, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the Lord and Savior, to come out of her. And he came out the same hour. That spirit came out of her. And when her master saw that the hope of their gains was gone, they caught Paul and Silas and threw them into the marketplace unto the rulers. When they see that, hey, she don't have no powers no more. to bring forth her evil, soothsaying, psychic powers. The spirit had gone out of her within an hour. Verse 20, and brought them to the magistrates, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. See that? Being Romans. That's why our people, I mean, look at Romans 1 and 7. That's the book of Romans, right? Look, being Romans. Paul was a Roman, but look, Romans, the book of Romans 1 and 7. To all that be in Rome, beloved of the Most High, called to be saints. So who's beloved of the Most High? We know Romans 9 and 13 says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. But who's to be loved? Right to the point, Baruch 3:26 in the Apocrypha. Beloved of the Most High, right? Called to be saints. Romans, right? Baruch 3:36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob, his servant, and to Israel, his beloved. See? So the Israelites are the Most High's beloved. And the saints, we know, if you go to Psalms 148 and 14, proves who the saints are, the children of Israel. So that's what it's talking about. So you see, Israelites call themselves what? Romans. Why? Because Second Ezra was in the Greek Empire. Before the Roman Empire, this is how we were rolling, as wicked Israelites. Second Maccabees 6 and 6 in the Apocrypha. This is in the Greek Empire. Neither was it lawful, Second Maccabees 6 and 6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to possess himself at all to be a Jew. Sound familiar? Don't it sound like us now? I'm not a Jew, I'm a Gentile. I've been grafted in. I speak in tongues. I'm filled with the Holy Ghost. Right? The Jews killed Christ. Is that what they say? Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days, the seventh day of the week, or ancient feasts, Passover, and Feast of Unleavened Bread, and so forth and so on. Ancient feast days, holy convocations of the Most High, and the days that we said we're going to keep for the victory over our enemies, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. That's why it says Israelites talking about they Romans in Acts 16 and 21. And teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. See that? Being Romans. Before they were Romans, they were Greeks. It was against the law to call yourself an Israelite, a Jew, right? So they were Greeks. And during the time that Mashiach came on the earth, they would call themselves, right here, Romans. And the multitude rose up together against them. And the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them. See? Commanded to beat them. And when they had laid many stripes upon them, hear that? They beat them. They cast them into prison. Once they beat them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely. Keep them in the prison. Who, having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison and made their feet fast in the stocks, put them shackles on their feet. And at midnight Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto the Most High, and the prisoners heard them. They singing praises to the Most High. And the prisoners heard them. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. And immediately all the doors were open, and everyone's bands were loose. Remember, they put shackles on their feet. It was a great earthquake. The earth started shaking. Foundation of the prison was shaken, and immediately all the doors were open. It's the power of the Most High, through the angels, through the spirits. Angel spirits, same entity. Immediately all the doors were open, and everyone's bands were loosed. And the keeper of the prison, waking out of his sleep, and seeing the prison doors open, he drew out his sword and would have killed himself. supposing that the prisoners had been fled, that they had got away. But Paul cried with a loud voice, saying, "Do thyself no harm, don't kill yourself, but we are all here." Then he called for a light and sprang in. He came trembling, and fell down before Paul and Silas and brought them out and said, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" And they said, "Believe on the Master of Mashiach, and thou shalt be saved in thy house." And he told you, if you love me, keep my commandments. And we read that in St. John 14:15. And they said, "Believe on him, the Master of Mashiach, and thou shalt be saved in thy house." And they spake unto him the word of the Most High unto all that were in his house. And he took them the same hour of the night and washed their stripes, and was baptized, he and all his straightway. And when he had brought them into his house, he set meat before them and rejoiced, believing in the Most High with all his house. And when it was day, magistrates sent the sergeants, saying, "Let those men go." And the keeper of the prison told us this saying to Paul, "The magistrates have sent to let you go. Now therefore depart and go in peace." But Paul said unto them, "They have beaten us openly uncondemned. We didn't do nothing wrong, being Romans." See, Paul letting them know he's a Roman too, being Romans. "And have cast us into prison. And now do they thrust us out privately?" They gonna cast us out privately. They beat us in front of everybody. And now they're gonna cast us out privately? Nay, barely. But let them come themselves and fetch us out. And the sergeants told these words unto the magistrates, and they feared when they heard that they were Romans. You know? They feared when they heard that they were Romans. And they came and besought them and brought them out and desired them to depart out of the city. And then went out, and they went out of the prison and entered into the house of Lydia. And when they had seen the brethren, they comforted them and departed. See, it's the spirit of the Most High, the angels of the Most High coming, and they're gonna come for us. We're just trying to do the best we can in righteousness to put us in a secret place under the wings of the Most High. Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21 and 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman. Hear that? It's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious, argumentative, and an angry woman. It's telling you. Ecclesiastes 25 and 22. That's why women have to take heed to this. A lot of times when I go into wicked women scriptures, a lot of women, they gone. They don't want to hear that. But I think every man should bring forth these wicked women scriptures to let our women know, like we dealing with the men, so they'll know how they should be in being righteous, or they're going to be wicked. Isaiah 51 and 20. Isaiah 51 and 20. Thy sons have fainted. Hear that? Sons have fainted. A lot of these brothers have weak natures. They sensitive, timid. Sons have fainted. They're strong, but they still have this kind of weak nature. As generation after generation go down to where they have now. I mean, they have everybody, change from a man to a woman. They would have that done. Remember, this is spiritual Sodom. Say, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. Hear that? Like a wild bull bucking in a net. Throw a net over a wild bull, they bucking all around. They are full of the fury of the Most High, the rebuke of thy power. Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Hear that? You know how a drunk can be staggering and don't know, They be some of the worst people you can deal with, an alcoholic. And when they not drunk, they be the coolest people you want to be around. But the drunk, you just so saying, drunk ain't. But it tells you, therefore hear now this, thou afflicted, we afflicted, and drunken, but not with wine. They staggering, this way, that way, but not with wine. Thus say the Most High power, the power, in thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. This is the last time we got to drink of this fury and be afflicted by any nation. Because we got next forever and ever and ever. The righteous, those that's going to hear what he's saying. But what he's going to do? But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee. That's judgment coming upon those that afflict us, which have said to thy soul, said to our body, what? Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street, them that went over. And they'll just as easily kill us, and we laying on the ground there, and they'll just walk right over us. And we done laid our bodies down so they can walk even in slavery. Bow down, that they can go be a mud puddle. Lay down, brother. Lay down, nigga. Lay down, boy. I remember a brother, old man, I was teaching, and the man said, he seen the signs of slavery. He's seen the signs of oppression and affliction that we have as a people went through because we ain't followed the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. And he said he's going to do it to us. So it's our fault. But he said it was just a little angry with us, and they helped forward the affliction. So that judgment is coming. But he looked at those signs and he started crying. I said, what's wrong, man? What's up? He said, my daddy died a boy. And he told us a story. He said, we would go to church with our best clothes we had. And we'd be walking from church, and a couple would come out on the sidewalk, and they would stop all the time in front of a mud puddle. And they would have to get off the sidewalk and get into that mud, stand in that mud puddle. He said his daddy was confronted as a boy by the Edomites. They do that purposely. He said they would be standing in the mud puddle with the best clothes they have, standing in that mud puddle. That's why it said, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, as the street, to them that went over. Don't get it twisted. They would take our little boys and put them down on the ground as they sit in a rocking chair or a chair, and put their feet on their bodies, saying they're going to take all the rheumatism out of their body, going to that little boy. So we have had to do this. And I heard what them levees were. They said they used to have buckets. We used to have to beat the dam, putting our bodies against the water and so forth. Stop the water from coming. Oh, there's so many case scenarios that we have been through in affliction that's beyond our imagination. But the Most High told us he's going to do that. He told us. It's right here. And we knew. In the captivity we were in. And he told us it's supposed to be passed down to our children. That they should know. They can know. Ezekiel 7:24. He told us this. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen. Hear that? I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease. and their holy places shall be defiled. Hear that? He said gonna bring the worst of the heathen. That's what we're dealing with now. They possessing our house. They the ones occupying our land. Here and there. Over in the land of Israel. Say destruction cometh. And they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests, and counsel from the ancients, because they didn't pass it down to the children to know this. Only to his chosen few. So I'm getting rid of you. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way. Say, I'm gonna do unto you as you have done. I'm gonna bring it to you. As you have done, he said, I'm gonna do to you. And according to their deserts, you want to play the whore, you want to play the harlot, you want to play against the Most High, you want to deal with idolatry, you want to break his laws, statutes, commandments, the things that he said we're supposed to be doing. He didn't want to do it. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am the Most High. So you're going to know that he is the Most High. So here we are now. Dealing with trying to make it to the kingdom. And we're dealing with all these adverse things that's come up against us, that we trying to be righteous is not hard, but it's hard for those that are unrighteous to become righteous and stay righteous. It's very important that we see this. Let's go back to a Mashak. Go to Matthew 19th chapter. And 5th verse, 19 and 5. Matthew 19 and 5. And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain, those two shall be one flesh, going to become one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, no more two, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let no man put asunder. You see? So it's very important that we see this, understand this, understand this. Well, I tell you, in Exodus 22 and 16, Exodus 22 and 16, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, she's not engaged to another man, and lie with her, he have sexual intercourse with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. She become his wife. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, after he done humbled her, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. See? There's a certain amount he had to pay. According to the dowry of virgins. The father, because that's why you know that we had order. Where the father could say, no, you cannot have my daughter. Then he got to pay the dowry of virgins. Go to, and that's in Deuteronomy 22. And 28 and 29. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, the virgin is a young woman of marital age, whether she has sex or not. Not just a woman that's, have not had sex, but which is not betrothed. She's not engaged to another man, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, have sexual intercourse, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Remember? Because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. See, the Most High, he's not with divorces. See? Very important. Leviticus 20 and 5. Leviticus 20 and 5. Then I will set my face against that man. Let me read up from there, because the Most High speaking to Moses, saying, verse 2, again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that give any of his seed unto Molech. Remember, all the gods of the nations are idols. To this idol Molech, he shall surely be put to death. People of the land shall stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man, and will